But it shows up the right way on the other one.
Sure.
Right, and
It's like your eye.
totally...
So, I think that we have started live on both. I think. Oh.
No.
There's like a few second delay on...
And I am out of picture.
You are out of picture.
Whoa.
Scoochie?
Scoochie.
Where are you going? I mean...
Where can I go? Okay. Well,
Maybe you can, like, curve.
I'll just come in. I'll just...
Yeah.
There you go. That's better.
We can put these things together. You can share with me.
Let's see. We're good? We're good.
You're still sort of out of the picture.
Where am I?
I don't know. See? You rearrange everything. That's why usually I pull it up, because I'm usually on that side before Felicia.
Oh, there?
Oh. No.
Oh.
This is why I'm also usually leaning.
Well, welcome to Let's Have a Fefe. This is
my
episode,
God.
what, 16
16,
of
I think.
season 6. Gosh, boy. Can't believe we've gotten through the season that quickly. We just keep going and going and
like
going.
The Energizer Bunny, but less interesting.
You can't... Freddy Prince Charming is here, but barely alive.
I'm just going to preface this with an apology right off the bat. I am sorry for the coughing.
You don't know what to do. It's fine.
I have tried all the things, and I have like this ball of mucus that's like sitting right here, and it won't come out. Yeah, really sexy.
Yeah, and later on we'll try the vacuum.
Or just kind of...
It'll be fine.
Get it out.
It'll be fine. Maybe we should record that on Facebook.
There you go. That'll be something to put on our Patreon. But that's for the premium. You have to pay $50 to be able to see that shit.
Oh, shit.
Just shove a vacuum in my throat, then that's what you gotta pay the big bucks for that shit.
Right.
Oh my god.
I'm sure there's a website for it.
I'm sure there is.
What? Okay.
Thanks
for
Scotty.
sharing it.
Scotty, why are you sharing the video of us with us?
Oh, that's so meta.
Right? Like,
Thank
thanks, man. What the hell? Okay, then. Well.
But I appreciate you sharing it. Yeah.
He's so funny.
We're here with our special guest, Katrina Rainsong. Yes, she's a Phoenix entertainer. And then some. And then some.
Yeah.
And then some. I keep finding entertainers that are entertainers and then some.
I mentioned somebody to somebody the other day that I knew how to stilt walk and eat fire, and they were like, "You what?"
We just can't do it during pageants.
Right? They won't let me eat fire during pageants and shit. And
I mean, when can we do this?
Bars tend to frown on things like fire. I don't know why. It's like, whatever.
Hi, Victoria.
So, you know.
I think Facebook is still building their audience a little bit.
A little bit, but it's okay. This weekend, Felicia.
See, I was trying to remember that. It must be something with this seat. Anyway, I didn't do much of anything. I worked an event that we had at work, but after that, I was pretty much dead to the world. I've been kind of like disconnected a little bit because I've been on like burnout.
I feel that.
Like,
I've been kind of pulling back too.
Like dead on the inside. That's pretty much all I did.
So we're all going to Lilith after this because we're in like super deep goth space.
Right.
They're waiting for us.
That's all.
Martinis and hands and stuff.
I totally should have just like done like white and then like black and goth makeup and shit. I totally should have.
I should have told you what I thought I was gonna wear, but I don't really decide that until.
Because then when I'm like coughing so hard, my eyes water. Then like everything runs and it just adds to the whole thing.
Oh. Well, I got some black in there.
Just give me 2 seconds. I'll just run in there and.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. All I did this weekend, in fact, for the last, like, 2 weeks, basically, is be sick.
Hi, Erica.
That's it. Just sick. Nothing else. Just sick.
We are on YouTube.
We are. Who's saying who's on what?
Victoria's saying we didn't come up on YouTube, but
it's not showing.
It's not showing.
Well, I didn't run it because I was trying not to cut the bandwidth.
But my car is fixed. For those of you who don't know, my car has been out of commission since before Christmas.
Oh, I thought you were going to say before Christ. Well, technically.
Wow.
Like, while we were in Seattle, my partner's brother went in there to try to move my car so that he could put a woofer in the back, and the car wouldn't start. So, yeah. Long story
Question
short,
is,
rats
did you get
ate
the
my
woofer
car.
installed?
Yes, the woofer's installed.
Okay.
I got some bumping tunes and shit. I just gotta figure out the balance because it's. hurts
good
my ears.
luck.
Right now, it hurts my ears. Like I can't. I have to turn it
Mm.
off because the pressure. I'm like I can't.
Those things
So-
are meant.
So after like weeks, over a month of trying to figure out exactly what was wrong, like it blew my.
Mhm.
Basically, it shorted out the computer. So I had to go get a new computer.
The woofers?
No, the rats ate the
the
wiring.
rats.
The
Okay.
rats ate the wiring, which shorted everything out.
So you never got to try the woofer before.
Right, I couldn't do shit. Like, it shorted out the computer, but there was like just enough juice to drain the battery. So my battery was dead. My computer
You
was
got
dead.
a twofer.
Everything was dead. All the things were dead. All the things. And my car was sitting in the driveway. If you had like looked in it or like popped the hood, like there were pieces. Everything was taken apart. The whole
Oh,
thing.
God.
So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is now back together and running. Thank God. I need an oil change, but
Let's not talk about it.
so yeah. So the highlight of my weekend was getting my car fixed finally.
And
Yay.
hopefully getting better.
I'm
You
working on it.
getting
I feel better than I did, if that makes sense. I'm just the coughing is making me not awesome.
It just hangs on.
It's my partner has been sick now for 2 weeks. Coughing for 2 weeks. Like it's
Has she gone to the doctor?
she
Do I need
has
to yell at her?
actually the second she came back from when I picked her up at the airport, we went to urgent care.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, we're
He
both
posted
dying.
a status and all I typed was, go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
And I did. I went to a minute clinic and they gave me things.
Because this flu around here, it's not playing around. I
Oh, it's awful.
Mm-mm.
In fact, my senior manager was in town last week, and
You got to see somebody?
no. Everybody got together to go do like a business lunch type of thing.
Oh.
I said no, thank you, I'm good.
Oh.
Because that would have been bad. First of all, I couldn't drive. Like there was no way I couldn't. No.
Oh.
But as soon as he got back to, I think he's from Colorado. He's based out of Colorado.
Mhm.
As soon as he got back, he got sick.
Oh, no.
I
Are we
can
making
get-
people sick?
We
Don't
are.
come to Arizona.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
so
do
sorry.
it.
But if you need to book us,
I will travel to you.
we can come. I'm ready. I mean, we can bring our nasties.
Right, I'll bring the have germs. We'll travel. Oh my God.
Katrina,
So-
what did you do this weekend?
I turned 35.
Yeah.
yeah.
I turned 35 a few years ago.
Ooh, how did that feel?
Fuck off.
Hi, Charity.
Uh,
So did you do anything fun or?
Yeah, I got together with some of my friends and we went to our usual like karaoke spot and just like had drinks and
fun.
did karaoke.
It's
And,
the only time I can do karaoke.
Yeah.
I haven't done karaoke in a long time. I used to go all the time.
You need to break that voice in.
That's the thing. I haven't been since transitioning.
Just time to see.
Hmm.
Something. I need to.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I sing in the car. Great.
Right? Karaoke is just the best.
Right.
Or the bathroom.
Just good acoustics in the shower.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And the actually the heat and the moisture in the shower is really
Yes,
good because
very
it
well.
lubricates everything.
Mhm.
This is true.
That's why everybody sounds better in the shower, and then they get in karaoke, and you're like.
That's actually like I like to warm up in the shower like when I'm going to shows I'm gonna sing at.
Mm-hmm. You warm up in the shower because it
Mhm.
lubricates everything. It all gets all.
Lube is important.
It's absolutely. I talk about lube a lot on this show.
I rubbed it in my hands the last time you were here.
And you did. We did a lube test.
That's very,
We totally did a lube test.
Also,
Yeah. I'm very big on lube. So, speaking of lube, and feel free to jump in on this anytime. On my Just the Tip this evening, I'm going to be talking about relationships and social media etiquette.
oh.
okay.
Because, okay, everybody knows that person that gives you,
Just one?
at least, that it's like they give you a total rundown, a minute-by-minute, play-by-play of everything that's happening in their relationship.
Oh, hold on. Let me do that.
And it's like, okay, oh my God, stop. So there are some do's and some don'ts and some kind of like, yeah, when it comes to your relationship and social media. Everyone's guilty of putting their personal stuff on social media.
Hi, Brandon.
Stop it. Like, seriously, we don't need, nobody needs all your shit. Not all of your things need to be on Facebook.
I
They
want
just
to
don't.
put all of my things on
I
Facebook.
understand.
I want you to know when I'm on the toilet. I want you to know when I get off the toilet. I want you to know when I couldn't get all of it, but I still got off the toilet.
Thank you, Felicia. So,
Well illustrated.
thank you, Felicia. Thank you for that visual. So, when it comes to relationships and your significant other and things like that, there's some good things to put on there. You know, if you're having an anniversary, if you're having a birthday or whatever it is, that's
Happy
great.
birthday!
You know, happy birthday, whatever, la la la. You know, if you're going on vacation,
Hi, Brandon.
post about that. That's totally cool. Whatever,
Jen.
you know. New jobs, you know, things that are like celebratory, things like that. You know, it's good. It's good. You know, go ahead and express your appreciation and your love and whatever when it makes sense. You don't need to do it.
I love you.
Constantly.
I love you.
One of the things.
I love you. I love you.
Oh my god.
Did you say?
One of the things that, like...
But I love you.
I know it doesn't just drive me crazy because I've heard other people talk about this. The constant gushing about how wonderful and oh my god, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And it's like, okay.
Thank you for coming.
Who are you trying to convince? Because it almost sounds like they're trying to convince themselves that this is what it is as opposed to just being genuine about it. You know?
You kind of see a similar thing sometimes in the same skills versus, but you kind of see a similar thing sometimes on people and like whatever their particular faith is.
Oh.
You know? You see that happen.
Same
Or
sort of
whatever
thing.
their particular like dieting food belief system is.
Oh dear God.
Can I say this? Please don't invite me to It Works one more time.
Oh God.
Oh.
Seriously, stop.
I mean, if it's that important to you, can you message me and then ask me if I want to be in your... is that on your list? Don't add people to groups without asking.
Seriously.
You wouldn't believe some of the groups I have been added to.
So I get added to stuff and I'm like, and like a notification will pop up and I'm like, when did this even happen? It makes sense.
I got added to the group about goat love. I kid you not.
Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds like a tip that we should talk about later.
Well, it's like, okay, so the people that are constantly gushing about shit, it's like, do you need validation from somebody? Like, is that how you measure your relationship, by getting validation? How many likes you get on your status is how good your relationship is? Because that's what it seems like. Another thing that drives me crazy, it's date night. Put your phone away.
Oh, I was like...
Put your fucking phone away.
Yeah.
We don't need a constant... And here's us on date night, because while you're posting, you're on your date.
Yep.
And it's us on date night. Oh, look, dinner just
Wait,
came.
a third person just showed up.
Right?
Oh,
Probably
look,
date night.
and look, here we go again. And it's like, okay, oh my God.
We're going to the movie now.
If that were me, and my partner could do, I'd be like, are we doing this date or what? Because you're...
Or are we performing this
Right, because... I don't
It's
need
for
everybody to
our
know
friends.
everything. Like, it's not necessary. It really isn't. Like, great, here, we're going on date night. Excellent. Put your fucking phone away.
Yes.
Like, seriously, put your phone away.
Hi, Gabe.
That shit drives me batshit crazy. And again, we don't need a play-by-play on everything.
Vivica says that annoys the shit out of her. I don't know why it keeps shifting over to the side. It's driving me crazy. I can't read all of the comments.
But, like, you know, I've there have been a couple times when I have said, you know, I am very lucky to have the relationship that I have now. And I've posted that.
I don't see that every week.
No,
Right.
not every week. And the people that know my history really understand that when I say that I'm very thankful for the relationship that I have now, like, it's not just a pat me on the back, I'm an adult, you know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
If you're having problems in your relationship, talk to a fucking counselor, not Facebook.
Yep.
Hey.
Seriously.
Yep.
Like, okay, here's the thing, and my ex used to do this all the time. Your friends, and like, when you post something on Facebook, everybody sees it. So, when you post something like, oh, I think they cheated, or I think that, this and this and this happened, or give me your opinion on this, because this, or this is scenario.
I've been guilty of that.
It's tricky because when you post that, people that are mutual friends see that.
Amen.
So it's not just your friends, it's their friends. And
friends of friends.
Right.
And
Friends
co-workers
of friends
of
and co-workers, and like, it puts your partner in an extraordinarily awkward situation because they may not even know maybe you blocked them from the post. They may not even know that you posted that.
Mm-hmm.
But the next time they see your friends, everybody knows what the situation
Diva
is.
says that she can tell that you're in a happy place. She can see a change in you.
See?
The sickness is not part of it.
But yes.
That's not.
Like, seriously, don't post your shit on Facebook. Don't do it. Because it colors everyone's opinions whether you think it's going to or not.
It's a breaking of trust, really.
It really is.
It is. Especially if you're blocking them, but then they get into everyone else.
Right.
It's a breaking of trust. You didn't get their consent to share that. And when there's stories involve other people, it's not just yours to share. You have to get consent
And
to
Gabe
share.
says, don't air out your dirty laundry online.
And yet everybody does it. Like, every time. And
why I think that they do? I think it's because it's so easy.
It is.
It's a way to get that that quick fix of letting it go, almost.
Honestly, buy a journal.
Right. There's that, and I also think they want people to say...
Oh my gosh. The people that think that Facebook is their blog.
Oh my God, stop. Oh, Jesus. So... And when I think when people are posting the like, oh, this is terrible, my relationship is shit, la la la, a lot of it is like, okay.
Can we keep in mind that your future person that you may be in
a
relationship with may be on there too?
It's like they're just looking for the people to go, but we love you, and you're so awesome, and you don't deserve that. And it's like, okay, wait. Because I know people that have posted shit like that, and I'm like, oh, no, you're not getting any fucking sympathy from me. Because I know the situation.
Hi, Mia.
And no. No, you are not going to play the victim in this one. Just
and then Gabe says, those same people get mad when people chime in with their opinions and tell them to stay out of their business.
Yeah, you're going to post it and be like, well, and then someone says, well, then why don't you do this? Nobody asked you. Well, you kind of did. Because
this isn't a DM. This is
you
like
put it out there.
A public forum.
And remember that once you put it out there, you can't take it back. You might be able to delete the post, but I guarantee you somebody will have snagged a screenshot. Somebody will have snagged a screenshot.
Internet is forever.
You can't. It doesn't just go away. Like, another thing that drives me crazy: don't fucking overshare, especially when it comes to sex.
Why not?
I don't need to know how many times you came last night or
how
hard.
Follow it.
Oh no, nice. I'm dead serious. I'm like, look, I'm all about sex. Goodness knows, I'm all about sex. Sex is fine, great, wonderful. I seriously don't need the details. I really don't. And I guarantee you, most other people don't either. They don't care how many times you were finger banged in the bathroom at whatever. Like, seriously.
Oh my God.
I'm going to say that depends on that one only because I'm a sex geek and a sex educator. And so sometimes it's like teaching moment.
If it's a teaching moment, if it's like especially if you can kind of turn it into almost like a hypothetical, kind of like well, if this happens, you're probably not a good idea to do this. Like, if you are cutting chilies, don't.
Don't touch yourself in certain
or anybody
areas,
else for that matter,
including your eyes.
Right. Don't touch things.
Yeah.
If you've been cutting chilies, like, don't do it because that leads to a whole.
Erica says that people need to talk to their partners. Communication is fucking key in a relationship.
But nobody wants to do that. They'd rather just put it out there.
But I think whether you're sharing like your dirty laundry or you're doing all the gushy gush, that is a big piece that like just goes missing in most relationships.
Right.
Is that we don't talk directly to each
right.
other.
I'm not going to talk to you, but I'm going to put it out here.
Right. Like, I know I love my stepmom. She will tell everyone else how much she loves me and like how great I am, but she's really bad at like
actually telling
me. And for the longest time, I was like, my stepmom hates me until my dad was like, no, she brags about you all the time. And
I'm like,
so,
why does it do something to me?
Right? And my main love language is words of affirmation. So like I need it directly to me. But yeah, I'm just like, whoa. The next time you feel like gushy over Facebook, put the phone down and either wait for your partner to come home and tell them to their face. To their face is best because then you can probably like kiss or something.
Something, right? That
or
would be
like,
good, or
close the Facebook and use your phone as a phone and call them.
Oh my God!
Like
What?
I know, right?
Something.
I was thinking of you. You
Right.
know,
Don't
but have
do
it
that.
direct to them. You know.
And okay, so this is something that has happened numerous times and with numerous people. You're gonna fall in love one week, and then it ends 2 weeks later.
Ooh,
You've been on one date, and all of a sudden you're together 2 weeks, and you found the one again.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just look? Okay. I know that high school was super, super awesome and super
What high school
cool.
did you go to?
And, you could fall in love with, like, this dude over here and then be heartbroken 2 weeks later.
I wanted to fall in love with.
And in the real...
I would say that on again, off again relationships are real outside of high school.
They are real.
But...
Okay. There's on again, off again with the same person, and then there's on again with this person, and then a week later you're
one.
like... So there's...
How do people keep track of that?
I don't know. Like, I seriously, this actually just happened, where as of December 28th, someone was actually posting on Facebook about how they were fucking some dude, and that the aftermath of that or whatever, right? January 5th, they were suddenly in a relationship and in love. It's a different dude. 2 weeks, literally 2 weeks after that, I don't understand why. He said he loved me, and now I'm heartbroken, and no. Okay, look.
Life
is 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Where 2 weeks prior, 3 days before you were in a relationship, you were randomly fucking some other person.
All your business don't need to go on there.
I think with that, especially when it's that like one after another, remembering that like when you first like fall in infatuation or lust or love or whatever with someone, you're high. You are on drugs because your brain chemistry is a drug. Oxytocin is a hell of a drug. Serotonin and dopamine are.
There's actually oh my god, what was I watching? Fuck. It actually, there's a specific chemical that gets released, and it's not the serotonin, it's not the dopamine, it's something else, and I can't remember what the hell it's called. It literally makes you crazy. And it happens in that first couple weeks or whatever it is.
I know what you're talking about. It's like a form of, it's part of the like adrenaline epinephrine type.
Yes, and I can't remember what the fuck. It literally makes you crazy.
It makes you crazy, and like brainwave wise, it's really similar to a cocaine high. Like,
yes,
you are actually high.
You are.
Don't make big decisions when you're high.
Like so what you're feeling is really you're not in love with this person. It's your body going, oh my god, this is awesome. And if you had waited longer than...
Is that it?
It's the, oh god, words.
Oh yes, the phenyl...
It's a big word with a PH.
Phenylethylamine.
Phenylethylamine.
Yeah.
That's the one.
It's the same thing that is in chocolate that makes you go,
right.
Chocolate. And it acts like a cocaine high.
It actually, and it's a, like, that's why when you're in that honeymoon stage...
Oh, yeah.
When you're in that honeymoon stage, like, both you and your partner are dealing with what I always call your representatives. Mm-hmm. Because it's when everything is wonderful and everything is great, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, wait.
Right.
Can you fucking pick your shit up? Like, what the hell?
Do we have to watch Rick and Morty again?
All right, do we have to? Oh, my God. Like, and that's when you
know.
But
I like
that
it.
It's like that's when you know that you're not high anymore, is when reality actually sets in. And that's when you actually become people.
Yep.
But before that, you're really not people.
And And
you're just representatives.
And you
And
allow
even
them to
with
move
that,
in.
it still takes another 18 to 24 months for
Mhm.
the crazy dopamine and serotonin to
To
settle,
settle
down.
down,
So
exactly.
you're really not completely out of like what we often
Drug
call
love.
like NRE, new relationship energy, until like 18 to 24 months.
Yep.
That's a
Well,
little
And
Right.
that's when you start noticing the little things that, you know, the little habits that maybe you either overlooked or didn't want to see before,
Mhm.
and you're like, oh, I don't necessarily like that. And that is actually a lot of times when people bail.
Yep.
Because reality sets in, and a lot of times that's when the affairs start too.
Mhm.
Because you figure if you're gonna go and you're gonna sleep with this person over here, you're gonna get that same high.
Mhm.
But it's all temporary. It's all temporary. So just
Is
long
that
story
all
short,
of
don't
your-
put all your shit on Facebook. And honestly, the people that are watching you when you put your shit, they don't give two shits about your relationship. They're sticking around for the drama because
This
they know
has
it's coming.
nothing to do with relationships, but can I ask a favor?
No.
You don't do this to me unless we're in a show together, which I'm fine with, or if we're like inside joke, ha, you got it. Stop tagging me. I'm asking as a personal
Oh
favor.
my god.
If I am not booked in the event, if I am not at your housewarming party,
How many
if I
times?
am not, I don't know, but I have been tagged in so much stuff lately. I just want to scream. And these are people that I have asked numerous
Stop
times.
fucking tagging me. If I've started reporting it as spam.
Well, and
I'm like,
Often.
it really.
but
like,
these are all people that you and I both know that
Yeah.
if they just sent me a message, maybe I would go to their page and share it.
right.
Mhm.
Don't tag me because you're trying to get my followers to whatever. Because it's misleading. I'm not involved in your event.
Right.
Because
Have
you know
nothing
that,
to do
you
with
know
your
what that
event.
happens. It makes your brand look bad, and then it makes the other person's brand look bad. Like, oh, I thought you were gonna be at BS West
Right.
this week.
Mhm.
No, I wasn't
Yeah.
booked there. Sorry.
Oh, that's definitely a thing.
Like I will tag somebody in something if I think either it's relevant to them
Mm-hmm.
or if it's something that hey you should probably see this, but not
But
like
it's etiquette. It's etiquette.
Right. It's not
etiquette.
I'm just gonna tag everybody because of all the things. That's not how that
It's
works.
kind of like shouting in the street and then yelling at
right.
your friends, and then
Mhm.
they're shouting for no reason because they don't know what's going on, but
Right.
you've already done the shouting for them.
If
Right.
someone is not
There's no consent.
general etiquette, if someone is not involved in your event, if they have not like expressed legitimate interest in your event or whatever the hell it is, don't tag them. Just
Please stop it.
Yeah. Not cool.
I love events. Facebook has events.
right.
Right.
Invite me to your event.
And
Send
in fact,
messages.
they have a separate app for it now where you can look up like different things, but don't stop tagging me. If you
It's-
tag me one more time, I'm gonna
It's spammy.
shoot people.
Seriously, I start.
I'm like, oh, I'm glad I can review my timeline. Delete, remove tag. Okay, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep, on everything basically.
And I took 5 days off from Facebook.
Oh, I don't know. I would think I was sick.
Well, the whole time you were sick, I was off Facebook. But I got notifications, like after notification, that I had been tagged in something. And I'm thinking, I've been in bed for like 4 days. Where am I
Right.
Mhm.
right now with you?
Right.
Right.
You're awfully busy.
I'm like
How
dying
am I
people are
in-
tagging me and shit. I'm like, or like across the country. I'm like,
How am I in this with you? How did I get there?
Right.
So that's my
I
rant.
got
I'm
tagged
done.
outside of the country a couple of times. I was just like, I wish. I would love to be
that'd be
traveling
awesome.
internationally.
Yeah.
Would you like
thanks.
to send me a ticket?
I did. Somebody that works at Dick's Cabaret tagged me, and I said, "Oh, am I booked for this event?" And then all of a sudden, I
That would
wasn't
give me a heart
tagged.
attack.
Funny how that works,
I was like, "Oh, but I was looking for. I can look at naked men and host."
right?
Sounds like a good
I
time.
mean,
That could be interesting. How do we get in on that gig?
I mean, I tried. He just untagged.
So if
me.
anybody that's affiliated with Dick's Cabaret, if y'all need a host for anything, like,
I mean,
we
I've
can-
tried. I
you
mean,
know,
you could just pay us.
that'd be-
I'll just stare and
Right.
talk.
We can make it work.
I mean,
Do something. So you actually brought a special guest.
I did.
Do you want to go get him?
a special
Sure.
guest brought a special guest
Yeah.
Yes.
for the first time ever.
Yeah. Well, with the picture that you used for today, I thought it was.
Yeah,
I'm all about it.
Come on in. I will move the chair chair.
And
for
then
the guests.
you can sit here and tell us all about your stuff. Because Katrina is a jack of all trades, does a little bit of everything.
And that's the truth, honey.
As you might have noticed, as jumping in with my tip, she gives, sex and relationship advice a little bit. She's a self-professed sex geek. Is that what you call yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, look at you.
I want to know how many guests appreciate our other guest.
See how many people freak out? I was holding like gigantic, there's pictures of me this high with massive, just holding because I'm not, what's his name?
His name is Beauty.
Beauty, that's awesome. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Beauty is attracted to Beauty?
Mm-hmm.
Not me, her.
I was gonna say.
Well, he's moving toward it. I was gonna say, looks like he might move towards you. Hey, baby.
Do I pet it?
You can pet him. You can pet him right below the head. Yep.
What kind of snake is he?
He's a Colombian red-tailed Bella, and he just shed, so he's looking in fine form today.
Oh, did you get?
Handsome.
You got all dolled up for the show appearance.
How do you sex a snake?
I don't actually know how they would do that in a vet. I just happened to see his penises one day when he was going potty.
Are you trying to figure me out?
I don't know if you know that.
Yes, I did know that.
They have what?
Snakes have 2 penises. They are diphallic.
They're so lucky.
Right? I can't even manage one. That's just, how is that fair?
Right.
Fucking snake has 2. I got, well,
I'm so
whatever.
sorry.
So, tell us a little bit how you got into working with snakes, and hi, handsome. Hi. And a little bit of what else you do, and...
Yeah.
Does he hide in your hair?
He does go into my hair sometimes, so I have to be careful,
Hello. Come say hi?
so he doesn't get, stuck in there if my hair's a little tangly, which happens a lot.
That's funny.
Curly girl problems. So, yeah, he is actually...
That's a lot of muscle.
Yeah, he's actually my partner's pet. And when we first started dating, it's 6 years ago now. And, I was handling him a lot, and I was wanting to start getting into performing. I did some photo shoots with him, and I was like, I really want to dance with him. And it's funny, it happened almost immediately like that. I said, I want to dance with him. I did some photo shoots, and then a friend of mine called me. I was like, hey, do you dance with your snake? And I was just like, I can, because that's my answer to pretty much everything. If I haven't done it yet, I was like, I can. And I don't know if either of you remember Monsterland when that was a thing for that short period of time. Yeah, they were doing a vampire night. Hi, honey. They were doing he's so tickly behind my ear. Hi. They were doing From Dusk Till Dawn vampire night, and so they asked me to do a reenactment of Selma Hayek's movie. And that was basically how Katrina Rain's song was born and how I started performing. Because then right after that, I got booked for a couple fetish events and some swinger events, and then I started getting booked for things where people wore regular clothes.
Regular clothes, right?
Yeah.
That's
So,
Normal people?
Right.
What?
So now I've been performing for 6 years, and started with him and doing a little bit of fire dancing, fire eating.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
hi.
Coming up with just a lot of...
There.
See, now he's tangled. Yep. Oh, baby. You silly.
You're getting all tangled in Mama's hair.
Yep, he does. Come on. One time he got caught in my couch. I had to cut my couch open.
Oh, shit.
Yep. It's fine. The couch was ugly, and I needed an excuse to get a new one anyway.
That's kind of funny.
You're so silly. Come here, baby. There.
So, how did you get into being, your self-professed sex geek and, relationship advice and, all that fun stuff? How did you... You're a performer. You literally do everything. And I know you actually... It was before the holidays. You were doing a whole video thing on...
Meditation.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
So you do all the things.
I do a lot of
And how do you get... How did you how did you branch off into?
Well, it kind of started. It's funny. It kind of started with sex geek stuff, although I wasn't calling it that back then. I did have back in the MySpace days. I actually had a MySpace.
Whoa.
Yes. Yep. I just aged myself. I admitted my age getting the show. Oh, is he giving you kisses?
Hi.
Aww.
Yes.
Don't get close. Don't get close.
So he does yawn sometimes, and it can look a little scary, but it's just him doing his thing.
Hi. I like you.
So yeah, when I was on MySpace, I actually had I had a page that was Ask the Sex Nerd, and people would like write in for advice. I'd always been like that friend that everyone went to with, high school, like in high school, they're like, Kat, I think I'm pregnant, Kat this, Kat, how do I how do I know if I've had an orgasm? How do I get birth control? Like, I was always that friend. And I was always fascinated about it. I was like 8th grade hiding the Kama Sutra in my book in school. Yeah, and so then I started actually studying human sexuality and Tantra, or like sacred spiritual sexuality, when I was 17. Got into the BDSM community when I was 18 and became like a bondage fetish model and adult actress when I was 20. And then like dropped out of all of it to become a mom.
Funny how that happens.
Funny, right? Dropped out of all
Lifestyle change.
Super lifestyle change. Was gone from it all, and then started when I left my son's dad, coming back into myself, and then started coming back into healing practices. Went and trained in massage and yoga and doula, which is like a birthing assistant.
You scared me.
And I started working in women's circles and found that I loved doing all of that. And that teaching, giving people education on their bodies and on pleasure was actually really healing for them. So I found that teaching is healing work. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
We kind of decided, like, when we when we first started doing this, we decided
Do you not like my hair? You keep looking at my hair.
He's probably thinking, how can I get cuddled up in that?
Right.
You do good.
When we first started the show, we decided that and in the many seasons that we've had different segments, that we've tried and not, the one that has stuck the entire time is my Just the Tip. And it
was personal.
People actually like have come back and said that they've actually like learned shit, like, because we talk about everything from sex toys, lubricants, anal sex, everything different, transitioning, kink, everything. And there's not a lot of...
I'm just an innocent girl just sitting here learning.
You kind of are. You've learned more now. But before,
I was a
when
late
we first started, dear God. But like, for me, it's always been one of those things where there's a lot of misinformation out there.
So much misinformation.
And I don't do misinformation. Like, I used to work at Fascinations, and this was years ago when they actually... In order to work there, you actually went through this whole course.
I actually have that training manual. One of my friends went to and gave it.
And it was good. Like, there was a lot of information. It was, there was some. It actually they had their employees be educated, and you were actually able to help people without just saying, I don't know, this one's fine, this one feels good. You know what I mean? But in terms of materials and. And all that good stuff.
Just making sure. I was like, do I need to leave?
And, like, the whole working at Fascinations and going through all that training, I was able to, like, some people would come in and, especially, my God, straight chicks and anal sex. He says it's supposed to hurt. No! No.
That hurts my heart when I hear people say stuff like that.
Or I should just get numbing stuff.
Oh, God. I wish they would take that stuff off the market.
I don't even understand why it's still there. It's so dangerous. I'm like, yeah.
I don't think it has to be FDA regulated or anything.
No, because it's sold as a
novelty.
That's
why it's there.
Right. So, based on that and the fact that I've always been a fairly sexual human, we've managed to do. I know. We've actually managed to cover a whole bunch of shit in the last 6 seasons on Just the Tip, which I think is great. And people, like I said, people are actually like, hey, I learned this. Which, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know?
People are hungry for information. And also, like, I think the main thing that people walk away with, like, whenever they come to my workshops or even just conversations, is knowing that they are okay. Just like, yep, you are not the only one that feels that. You're not the only one that's had that experience.
Yeah.
You're
and
normal.
we have one of our big sayings here that we say all the time, especially when we're talking about different kinks and things like that, is your kink is not my kink, but your kink is okay.
Absolutely.
I love
Which you could be into whatever the hell you want to be into. Doesn't mean I have to be into it, but you do you. I don't care. Just make sure that whatever you're doing safe.
Right.
Oh, the ones I was reading last week were...
I was like, this is what happens when I'm not here. I leave
Well, I
Felicia
didn't
to
know
her
what to do,
own devices, and
somebody sent it to me, and I was like, we're going to find out if Crystal knows about these.
That's when everything just goes to shit, and I'm sitting there watching part of it, I'm sick as a dog, and I'm like, what did she just say?
She wanted an apple smoothie.
Oh.
You'll have to watch last week's episode to understand what I'm talking about, because I don't want to go back and read any of them at all.
No need to re-traumatize.
God, that was awful. Oy, Jesus.
So, oh gosh,
scared
myself.
There's a snake.
I scared myself. Okay, that's fine.
When I have him out, like sometimes I'll just put him on the back of the chair just to like get some like stretch out time, and I'll like leave the room and I'll walk back in and I'll startle too. And he's mine. And like,
it's like, oh my God, there's a snake in here. Oh wait, here's my snake.
Wait.
Yeah.
Listen, I have no issue with snakes. I like snakes. I don't think there are. I've never been scared of snakes or anything like that. Ever since I was little, there's pictures of me with giant constrictors and you know.
So you did it before
whatever.
Brittany thought it was cool.
Yeah, I was doing it before Brittany was born. So, but like I said, my biggest issue with snakes is feeding them. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well, I don't feed him live. I don't feed any of my snakes
I still
live.
can't do that. I can't.
I'm a bit of a sadist. So
I'm like,
it's just like I like when I have to. Usually I buy them frozen, but if I have to get like a fresh kill because it's been a minute and they're really hungry, I'll just be like, let me see. Okay, yeah, that one. Like, thanks. You're gonna die.
Oh, I can't do it.
Hi, honey. Oh, yeah,
I can't do it. Like that is my biggest. I just about had a meltdown at one of my friend's houses like years and years ago. She had a corn snake and bought pinkies for it, and I was like, I couldn't do it. I was awful. If I would love to have a snake if they would eat things like crickets.
Right.
And there are snakes that eat crickets.
Vegetarian.
Right?
If they were vegetarians.
Like little teeny weeny snakes. Yeah, there are.
If they were like vegetarians and like you know ate crickets and shit, I'd be fine with that. I hate crickets with a passion, but I can't go and buy another animal that's supposed to be good luck.
Yeah, right.
I hate crickets. They are scavengers. You know that if you put like a mouse or something in a cricket container, they will.
It's true.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
When I feed
something to look up on YouTube.
When my son feeds his bearded dragon lizard, like I told him you have to be careful how many you put in there because if you put too many crickets in there, like they will eat your pet.
Yeah, like you can only put.
It would be like if you dumped the whole thing.
Right, but you can only put like a couple in there at a time.
Yep.
Like if you put them all in there, they will like.
They're like the piranha of the insect.
Yeah, they are not awesome.
So you just did a show. I didn't get to go see it, but can you tell us a little bit about it? And then Crystal kind of hinted that there may be another one. Is that true?
Oh, the show, the Almond House show. Yeah, so that was kind of a experiment. It's a little experiment.
No, I don't want you to snuggle
that
with me.
we were playing with. Called Pandora's Circus of Sin. And so the idea was that it's like a circus burlesque cabaret variety show, but it's also telling a story. There's an overarching story of some kind. So the first one we told the story. We actually just told the story of Pandora. Crystal was my Pandora. She kicked ass. Nice. Thank you, Crystal. So we told the story of Pandora, and so like each act was one of the sins that came out of Pandora's circus. And then the next one that we did was Merry Murderesses and Bloodthirsty Babes because it was October. So and so it was like lethal women of literature and history. So like Countess Bathory and Lady Macbeth and sirens. So any excuse to do like a bloodbath and stuff. And then this last one we did was Carnal Confessions, and so it was kind of like church-y. I actually had like a sexy priest costume. I was raised Catholic, so like that's been like a thing for me. So I was a priest. My co-host was the devil, and we were telling stories of sinful confessions and tales of temptation. And so each act was a sin that someone was confessing to, and we had sexy Catholic schoolgirls, and there was hot wax play, and it was a lot of fun. So
that's awesome.
So the next Pandora show, I don't have a specific date for. I'm taking a little bit of a break.
Those glasses look good on you.
Oh, he's going exploring. Are you?
Oh, that would have been cool if you could have pulled them back with the glasses on.
Right? He doesn't have a little nose to keep on him. Taking a little bit of break from producing shows at Owen House because the sideshow troupe that I work with, the Painproof Punks, will be doing some of their shows, and so we didn't want to conflict. I am going to be performing on the 9th for Owen House's Exotic Phantasmagorical art opening, so that's going to be fun. And I'm putting together a new show for the Valley Bar on April 13th. Called the Spring Singin Fling, and so that's going to be burlesque with live music.
Oh, fun!
So that's going to be
that'll be awesome.
Did he lick you? Yeah, so that's going to be cool. It's something that you see in burlesque shows. Like you'll see 1 or 2 acts that's like that where someone's singing. But the whole show is going to be based around this idea. So it's either going to be burlesque dancers who are singing as they do their act, or people performing to a live singer.
Interesting.
So
that's cool.
That's kind of the direction I'm going to go with my burlesque stuff.
Hi, Coco Bardot.
Bringing different elements together and taking it to other spaces and other venues. Just taking it wider, you know?
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic. Okay, so I'm looking at your necklace. I'm not looking at your boobs. I'm looking at your necklace, and it's driving me crazy.
I'm looking at her boobs.
Is it?
It's orange.
Wait. Yes, it's a never-ending story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, dark crystal? No.
I'm not just a sex geek. I am a geek in general. Neverending Story is my favorite book. It's my favorite, one of my favorite movies.
I haven't watched the movie.
I actually did a Neverending Story burlesque act.
Do you cry?
Oh my
Dude,
god! It's awful.
Have you read the book?
Yes, it's even
so much worse than the book.
I can't, like, I've read the book once, and I haven't seen the movie in years because I ugly cry every single time. Like, it is not okay. It's not like a, this is...
I think we should record that.
Oh god,
never.
never.
My god, just do the show with the camera on him. It's like, I'll do it with you. We'll ugly cry together.
There you go.
We'll ugly cry
and
together.
I'll sit here and just go.
I will get like cheap.
You're a heartless. If you don't cry, you're a heartless bitch.
I will get like cheap liquid eyeliner so I will just full on Tammy Faye about it.
Yes. My god.
And I'll just sit here.
It's a fantastic movie, but
it really is.
I can't do it. Like I can't do it.
We could split screen it.
That'd be fun. I actually did a Neverending Story burlesque act for my other my twice a month show, Hump Day Burlesque, a couple of months ago, and I made a giant Falcor head. So it was like Falcor head, white sparkly lingerie. It was ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Fun. That's
it was like the biggest pop fight ever. Right. I know. I should do it again. We'll find. It'll get brought out again. I think it's on. Somebody did get video of it, and it's probably floating on Facebook somewhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was the biggest prop I'd ever made so far. Was this big ass?
I can imagine that'd be interesting to perform in.
Oh yeah, like it was kind of wobbly on my head, and I could kind of see out of the mouth, but like it was a little scary. and the last leaf is really small.
Yeah, knowing my luck, I'd like do something and it would end up turned over here, and I'm like, shit.
That was my fear.
Fucking mouth is over here. I can't see anything. I'm like, oh god damn it.
I'm like, at this point, I'm like a topless chick in a Falcor head. I can do no wrong
right
now.
It's like whatever.
They probably wouldn't even know.
Tassel.
That like the head fell off.
Right. Oh, you found a comfy spot. Just gonna cuddle up on my lap.
Stay right there.
Yeah.
I like him. He's cool.
Are you done now? There's so much room in here.
No, he's good. He's cuddly. Like
Oh,
You won't let him sleep in your hair, so.
I'm not wearing anything that he could sleep in.
That wig.
No, not this one.
Oh, you have a
Sponsored
couple
by
others.
Marissa Sanchez.
You have a couple others that you probably get very nice.
Yes,
in.
yes. The one that I wore for the photo shoot.
Yeah.
There you go.
That one could easily lose a
Yeah.
snake in.
Uh-huh.
Oh, do we want to do current events?
We have 10 minutes.
We could do it.
Okay.
State of the Union.
Didn't
it was
watch
a white parade, and none of the black people clapped. Grammys.
Didn't watch it.
Freddy didn't know any other people performing anyway.
The only thing I kept hearing about was people bitching that Ed Sheeran won over Kesha, and I'm like, okay, but Kesha can't sing anyway.
But she did have a moving performance, which was supposed to be like the hashtag Me Too moment. But let's talk about the third.
So this third one, this actually popped up today, and it was
Not
mentioned.
in a good way. Like I wanted to like.
Right. This.
Not like pop up.
Yeah.
No, but like
This was actually brought up in a drag king group. Somebody was talking about one of the contestants on the King Me Rise of a Drag King.
Explain what that is.
It's an online competition. That's all I'm saying about that. And somebody
it's kind of like
been
an online RuPaul.
sort
Drag
of.
Race. Kind of.
But they were talking about one of the contestants and the fact that they actually, some of the things that they were talking about in their bio was very problematic and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what the hell? And finally the drag king actually responded and posted their bio. And on there, okay, this is a white king, first of all. It's a white king with dreadlocks who refers to himself in his bio as a ganja gangster.
Oh.
And describes himself as having superior genetics.
Ooh.
So
how are you?
When confronted about this, he said that his bio is a take on how you would describe marijuana.
So why didn't he say that?
The problem is
in a
it doesn't read
way.
that way at all.
Right.
And
why couldn't he say like ganja
initially-
is my superpower or something?
Yeah,
I
even
don't
then-
know.
Even then, it was there was a lot of sort of appropriation of the things going on.
Yeah.
And when
Why not the word strain rather than genetics?
something.
Right? Some science literacy, thank you.
Right? When
Yeah.
there were several POC performers were like, hey dude, this is problematic and this is an issue. It was a lot of, well, no, this is why, blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
So he's white-splaining.
Yeah.
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 Oh, I love white-splaining.
It took a minute. I think he's finally since changed his bio, but he also posted what he posted in the King group on his personal page. I went to go snoop. And of course he posted on the personal page, and everybody was like, I don't know why millennials are always so up in arms about things. Everybody's always offended about everything. I don't see anything wrong with it. You do you, la la la. And it's like, okay.
Were these people white? Because
I'm
I'm running into this, and this is why I posted this. I didn't talk about it with Fefe, but I posted this long thing about my black is beautiful. And I posted that not only because I'm black, but because people tend to act like it's like some disgusting, like, second best kind of thing that, oh, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but...
It's the but. It's always the but.
And I'm like, but...
I see where you're coming from, but what happened was...
everything.
Okay, let us talk about this, but then they don't want to talk about it.
No.
There's no healthy conversation going back and forth.
No. And, you know, of course there were people on the thread in the King group that were like, I don't see the problem, blah, 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 but everybody else was like, look, you have to see this for what it is.
And please
You
stop
have
saying you
to
don't see
understand
color.
Yeah, please
why
don't.
this is problematic.
Please don't.
And, you know, of course, you have the whole, well, Celtics had dreads. No, they didn't.
They had plates.
Right.
Ooh.
They plaited their hair.
Mm-hmm.
White people hair don't dread. It's not a natural thing. It's a texture thing. White people hair, doesn't matter
So
how
how do
curly
they
it
do
is.
that?
They don't wash their hair and they purposefully tangle it, basically, is what happens.
Oh.
White people hair does not dread naturally.
No.
It's not a thing. The Celts, none of the Scottish, Irish, Vikings, nobody. They did not have dreadlocks.
As a Jamaican American, I have never dreaded my hair.
You'd have some issues trying to get them under your wigs.
I know, that would be... Or I would make it part of my act.
Or you could make it part of your act. That could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That could be interesting. But I think, like I said, I think he's since changed his bio a little bit, but...
Where's this bio posted?
He...
It doesn't sound so much like there's any kind of real recognition of the problem or any kind of contrition, but more of just like, I'm trying to cover my butt.
Right.
So I think as a person of color, I feel like people have... I can say this. I don't fucking care. That I feel like people have moved past, oh, that was the good old days. We don't see color anymore. But I still treat you like...
Ooh, did you see the video clip of the one of the politician from down south? I can't remember what the fuck his name was, but he was talking about whatever in this country, and he's like, doesn't matter whether you're talking about white people or this or slick blacks or oh yeah, oh no, like slick. Blacks, flat out, like,
dude,
what?
That is
like,
not
what?
Oh, I'm glad I didn't see this.
Oh my god.
This is why this is still a problem, and this is why this is a conversation that still needs to be had in 2018.
Yeah.
But we haven't fully resolved what was. I know that history is not supposed to, or history repeats itself, but I wish that people would come to the table and say all the things that are wrong, especially watching the State of the Union when it seemed like it was a cult meeting other than we were recognized for, oh, your son got shot by an illegal Mexican. And then it became like we were watching them sob, so now we're watching them sob more.
So did he have the families of the people that got shot by every white dude, or just the Mexican?
A black family that got shot by an illegal immigrant from Mexico, and then something else, and then he had the one token South Korean now that escaped from North Korea, and this is why we have to keep an eye on North Korea. It was just almost like I was watching. This is why it's okay for me to be the way I am, and white is okay.
Right.
This is why these conversations still need to be had.
Yeah.
But I'm more worried about the younger generation seeing this. The younger generation is going to see that, oh, why is my mom yelling at the TV? I mean, all that stuff.
We were talking about it. This happened this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. My sister is a brown human. I am a ambiguously light brown human. We're both mixed.
Mm-hmm.
She is very dark, and she was out with my son. They had gone to this like Comic-Con convention thing, and a man at the bus stop went into a full-blown racially abusive tirade on her in front of my child. In front of a child for no reason. She counted 16 N-words. 16 within like this like 7 to 10 minute thing.
Why do these? Okay, the only thing that I can hope is that the younger generation will be smarter than the older generation, who hopefully are just dying off soon. Because seriously, it's these old white dudes that just bless your heart, just go. I give you permission.
Stop taking up the ballot.
Go to the light. Just go. Like, you're old, your time is done. I understand you were alive during Jim Crow and all this other bullshit. You're done. This is not your time anymore. And I'm hoping that, because right now it's this very weird...
Gray.
Right. Like, we have...
we were moving in this, like, transition, and we were becoming a better America.
Like, folks in our generation, we have this weird divide.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the folks that are very much, hey, y'all need to pay attention to this shit. And then you have the white supremacists, and, they're like, yay, Hitler. Like, you do realize that okay, never mind.
You realize
right.
you're really that guy.
And then you have the younger generation, and you have some of these millennials, which everybody says get offended about everything, which some of them do get offended about everything. Some of them, seriously, get offended about everything. But there are some things that the younger generation is offended by, which are absolutely legitimately okay to be offended by. Mm-hmm. And hopefully it's going to be them that help sort of turn that tide eventually, and just we need all the old people to just die off and be done. Like, look, it's your time is done.
Yes, Gabe, it made me a little bit nauseous. But I did it more of to be, I don't know. I watched it more to be educated by, instead of watching like snippets of it. Mm-hmm. I wanted to watch the whole thing from beginning to end, and I was timing him to see if he would like break the speech, because you know how like he usually delivers like a formal speech, and then all of a sudden he like becomes like this. He's like angry, and then you're like, okay, well, you're having a temper tantrum. That's what this is.
I haven't watched anything that he's done. I can't do it. I cannot physically sit through it. And I know like
I know that we're running out of time, but the one thing that he did not talk about. So when he mentioned unemployment, the black people didn't clap. There was like a section of them, and then it panned over to them, and they didn't clap. But one thing that he has not touched on, but he's so adamant about being mute about and directing orders, is trans people in the military. He won't say a word about it.
No.
He won't say anything about LGBTQRSTUV, about us. Like,
it's because we don't matter. In the whole scheme of things, we
were just starting to come forward and be like, I feel like we're, you watch the X-Men movies. Mm-hmm. In fact, there's like a show that is on TV now that's kind of like the X-Men, like pre-generation or whatever. I feel like that's what we are. We are like the mutants that nobody really. You can fit into our society. You can work. You can do whatever you need to do, but we don't want to specialize in your type of talk. We don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
We really don't need to. Do we have to talk about sex? Do you really need to talk about sex?
Yes, because when we talk about anybody being under the LGBTQ umbrella, that's all we talk about.
Do you have to?
It's true. Like straight people just immediately sexualize like anyone under the queer umbrella, and they're like, and so then they freak out about like. I was talking to my mom about like talking about LGBT history in school and how it needs to be a thing. And like we talk about the civil rights movement, we don't talk about Stonewall.
And sex ed needs to start being more inclusive.
Yes,
period.
Too more inclusive and more comprehensive. And she's like, but, and I was like, no, we're not going to talk about how people have sex. That's not just.
That has nothing to do with it. Nobody gives it. Nobody cares.
I'm like, the only person here sexualizing it
is you.
The straight people sexualize everything. They sexualize. Who was it? Was it Millie Bobby Brown who was like voted like sexiest actress? She's 13.
Oh yeah, that was upsetting.
13.
That was gross.
13. She's a fucking child. Like, it's all the straight people. We don't do that shit. Like,
and I put that on repression, social repression, and like being a sex negative society, we repress everything, and then we act out in all kinds of stupid ways.
Right. Nudity is bad, but violence is okay.
But God, you go to
sex
other
is
countries,
bad.
It's like on TV, and you're like, okay.
Right.
Oh, they like with the Brits and stuff. UK, they're like whatever.
Right.
Oh, penis.
I love the sex education over in Europe. Like, they start talking about just, like, touch and consent at like, kindergarten. Just, like, receiving hugs and kisses. I'm like, that's how you do the thing.
Right.
It's not, when people say, have you had the talk with your child yet? I'm like, there is no the talk. There is talk.
There is, right. It's a constant thing. It's an
Don't
ongoing...
let the school teach your child.
Oh,
Please
God.
Oh, my God. My son came home with the permission slip. He's like, what is this about? I'm like, oh, they're going to talk to you about, like, sex and reproduction and puberty. He's like, well, I already know that stuff. Why do we have to learn this at school? Because some parents aren't comfortable talking to their kids about that stuff. He's like, well, that's dumb.
No, I have seen.
I never got that. I never got the talk from my parents. No.
Oh, wow.
Sex was not a thing. No.
I do consider myself pretty lucky. I got, like good
not a
conversations
thing
growing
at
up.
all. So, I learned stuff in school and whatever, but it was very, very minimal.
Mm-hmm.
Very minimal.
Yeah.
Whoa, even overseas.
So, even overseas. You keep in mind, though, that I graduated more than 20 years ago.
Oh.
So,
Woo.
I was in high school more than 20 years ago. So, you have to put that in perspective. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, my education in general was fantastic, but you also have to put into context when my education was.
Right.
So it's like, yes, it was overseas, but it was also over 20 years ago.
Ooh.
God, I'm old. But like now, like even with my partner's daughter, she's 9, and we try to have conversations with her about things just casually, you know what I mean? Like she sees me go out in heels, all made up, you know what I mean? And
so she can't recognize me in.
No, she can't recognize you in or out of drag.
We're gonna have to work on that.
We are gonna have to work on that, but like we make sure that seeing me dressed up like that is not a big deal. Like it's like a whatever,
Yeah.
My partner is all about nudity. In fact,
But
would rather be naked than anything, and has no problem
That's the
being
way
in the house naked, and is making sure that her daughter understands that there's nothing wrong with nudity. You can choose to not be, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
So if my partner is running from the bedroom to the kitchen or whatever, and her daughter's out there, no big deal. Like whatever, naked is nothing. Nothing wrong with that.
We're all born
So
with
it's
that.
right. So it's a matter of
Just
and
bodies.
every once in a while, like her daughter will say something that obviously comes from other kids or things that she hears, and I'll be like, okay,
The playground talk.
right. So it'll be why is that bad? Why is that wrong? Why did you just say that? Like, tell us. Explain that. She's like, well, I don't know. Okay, well then let's look at this, and let's see why it's not. And kind of
Though I did not have. I mean, I was raised Catholic, but I was raised knowing what sex was from early age, like before 10. So, I mean, not the stuff that we talk about, because of course my mother would probably be like, "What?" But I knew what it was, and I wasn't. I mean, I could tell like other people, like as we were growing up, were very curious, and I was like, "What? You don't know how that?"
Oh, I knew.
You know how that
Trust me,
goes.
I knew what sex was. I don't know how many times I run. So traumatized. So
the repressed ones are free to lock the door.
Traumatized. So traumatized. I knew what sex was. I was very, very, very familiar with anything. So
I have never walked it.
Then you come across, your dad's old,
I'm very
like,
lucky that way.
80s pornos and shit. That's how you learn about sex, is you come across 80s pornos in the basement because they're labeled something else. So you grab them, you put them in, and you're like...
Never-ending story.
The land before
Definitely not never-ending there.
Wow, there were so many dinosaurs back then.
Hey,
That's why they call it a long neck.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Or not.
I just ruined my own childhood.
It's been great talking about all of this, but it all must come to an end at some point. Upcoming shows. Over here.
Upcoming shows. We've got the next Spotlight happening on March 24th. We've got some awesome numbers. I'm really excited about this one. I'll be back at rehearsal this week. I wasn't there last week because I was dying. So, yeah. I'm actually in Ohio next weekend, which I'm super stoked about because I've never performed in Ohio before.
You've been there before. Yeah?
I've been there, but I've never performed. I'll be performing Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night.
Damn, fully booked.
Yeah, I know. I'm stoked. I'm super excited. And then tomorrow night, Felicia and I are back at the Cash for Bingo. Which we're super excited about. I
gotta get the prize wheel.
Yeah. I thought you got that.
gotta get it down from somewhere. It's like up in the thing.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we're tweaking it. There's gonna be some new stuff, but we've got some great prizes. We've got stuff from Castle. We've got a gift certificate to the Burley Barber. We've got gift cards to 2601. We've got all sorts of cool shit. So come on down. It's free to play.
If you liked it the first time, you'll like it even
You're
more.
right. It's going to be even better. So definitely come down and kick it with us tomorrow night at the Cash. Starts at 9 o'clock-ish, exactly on the dot. And then on February 16th,
we've got
Cat Bingo.
We're just bingo whores.
We are bingo whores.
We just love bingo.
I guess
this is how we're getting our bookings these days. But if you're booking for shows,
whatever,
and you don't like the same 3 people that you booked last week,
try something different.
Upcoming guests next week we have Laura Fry, and then
we finally solved the mystery of the.
We're gonna find out who's Mommy's friend.
Because that was the old Mommy's friend. We solved the mystery of Mommy's friend.
But we want to know if she has more than one friend.
Because it looked like
it does look like
it was weird. Like the illustrations were strange. It was like, wait, what?
We'll talk about it
later. We've also got Savannah Stevens coming up at some point. The shirtless violinist coming up at some point, and all sorts of fun things happening.
Oh, the onesie party I forgot to take out.
Yeah, we're not doing the onesie party yet.
Yeah, because it's getting hot now.
Yeah.
We want to thank our sponsors, Gabe King Photography. You can book a session with them at GabeKingPhotography.com. And we also want to thank Marissa Sanchez of Texas. This is still together. I don't know how I've done it, but you can visit her website at wigsofakind.com. We want to thank the Burley Barber for being a supporter, and I believe I need to talk with John that I'm giving away a free haircut next week.
Yeah. And as far as Tantus goes, there's actually a link that we're gonna post for you guys to use. I know. I've been dying.
I mean, you could have, from your deathbed, copied and pasted it to
Yes,
me.
I know. I'm sorry. But there will be a link for you guys to use for Tantus, so you guys can make sure that you get awesome, super high quality, body safe toys, all sorts of things, from dildos to cock rings to all sorts of things, all medical grade silicone and all that fun stuff.
I follow them on Twitter. If you don't follow them on Twitter, they have
Instagram is good too.
They have some flash sales sometimes. I'm like, ooh, I'm at work.
Right. Yeah.
If you want to sponsor us, be sure to go to our Patreon page. We'll be adding some stuff soon. Be sure to like this episode, subscribe. Even on Facebook, I figured out that if you wait till the end of the episode, it'll say if you can subscribe. You can click the button. And please share this with friends, enemies, Trump supporters.
Especially the Trump supporters.
Your friends that like to white-splain and say, but... No.
If you watch the episode where Coco Bardot was on, if you took notes of the problematic phrases,
and you hear that come out of somebody's mouth, you just go share.
Just share this with all of them because
Or if you have heard it in the past,
right? Just go ahead.
You still haven't gotten your book? I will check on that. Please follow us here on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Special thanks to all of you that watch on the replay.
We can find Katrina on Facebook. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Katrina Rainsong.
She's on Twitter and Instagram.
I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Tumblr.
You are.
I am.
And we'll be posting all of those things, so you can go find her on all of those things.
Yes.
And you can catch me at the Lost Leaf on the 7th, February 7th, for Hump Day Burlesque and Variety Show. It will be our Valentine's show.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next week.